breakfast?
Yeah, I'm ready for breakfast.
Okay. Looks a little rainy again there.
Yeah, it's not very clear.
Good morning! Today is Monday, March 4th, and we are about to dock at Nawiliwili in Kaua'i. Hawaii. It is 9 o'clock. We got to sleep in a little bit more than the past couple days, and we are going to sit down breakfast at Triton's. Yay, I'm hungry. Let's go.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a text.
Did you get the text?
Yes, sir. So was it like a young down below, a middle-aged?
We are at Triton's. There was a bit of a wait to get in, about like 5-10ish minutes. And I still have to do my skincare and sunscreen, so hopefully we have enough time.
We all got muffins. I got chocolate chip, and everybody else got blueberry. And then Mom and Liz got coffee. I got apple juice. Dad got orange juice. Mom and I got plain yogurt with mango, pineapple, papaya, and granola.
And coconut.
And coconut. Different plating, but that's okay. Delish. And they brought Dad and Liz fruit plates because it's taking a little while for our food to come out. Yum.
Dad and I went up to the room to get our excursion stuff. I just threw sunscreen on my face. Didn't have time to do skincare, but here's breakfast.
Mickey waffles. I was supposed to get scrambled eggs too, but that's a fine. Blueberry pancakes with bacon. Dad got an omelet and French toast. Mom got hash brown, bacon, sausage, tomato, and scrambled eggs.
Okay, we ate really fast and made it to Azor in the nick of time.
You can wear mine.
We're Rapunzel today.
Oh, it's drizzling.
But there are these old sugarcane roads. So we're called the Garden Isle. That is really generated from the amount of rain. We're home of the wettest place on earth. The center of our island is called Mount Waiali'ali. By the time they get to Poipu on the what's called the sunny South Shore, 25th anniversary. That was super fun. Restaurants. Well,
They have another one too with, I think like... When you guys come off the boat, we can rearrange.
You see anything, do not go up. Second, your life is mouth and it's like the old. Now anybody on board spending more time here in the island and is also into hiking. Guys, that giant great hike all to the top of this forehead. On the top of the mountain there, you'll be able to that giant. As cool over road. We turn left at the track. Now the long roads run here to the right of the falls, right after 1 acres. Now all the this mountain wide all the way on up to see a mixture of fresh and salt. So for the meeting of
Thank you.
We're going right there.
Johnny Mac.
You know, if we would have had
Here, I'm gonna start at
We're going here, one's going here. Like 5, 2, 3.
The giant pipe get turned into
So that was the Fern Grotto at the end of a lava tube. For some reason I thought we were going like farther into it. We really got rained on when we were waiting for the buses and we had to split up, which wasn't fun. Not the greatest start to the morning, but hopefully it'll pick up. Oh, my eye's watering too. We're hula-ing.
Hitchhike signs up. We're gonna travel to the ocean, past the front of you, up and down the ocean. That's the most
Be careful now.
Thank you. So they're trying to fit us all on the same bus. Yes.
Hello, little Hawaiian rooster. Hello.
This is kind of a mess. This isn't Disney. It's a little disappointing, but what are you gonna do? This is our lunch.
Weddings and other ceremonies, and that's the largest in the state. There, you just multiply it by 3. That's about accurate.
Yeah.
Just freaks out. That for future cruises.
Another?
I saw him.
It's right there.
There are plenty.
Yeah, exactly. Told me that too.
Along in here, you'll see a big spray. Manicured and beautiful. Way over in London.
Oh.
And when Churchill would
Reunited.
Trust them.
Like grandfather Benjamin had a 445 pound weight. He did a revolutionary shape of the clamshell. On each side, there's 2 prisms that are round. You do a double thing.
waterfalls across the way? That's what I was talking about. See there's a thing up there? And this is where we're headed down there in Hanalei Bay. I prefer not to stop, but if you guys want to get out, I will.
Okay, now we're at a beach.
now we're at a beach.
This doesn't say what it is. Rotary Club of Hanalei Bay. Yeah, we're at a beach in Hanalei Bay. Mom made it. Dad had to leave, but Mom's bus is here. Yay.
Yeah.
I guess that's where they filmed that Descendants movie is right up here in Hanalei Bay.
No, but John Travolta's house is right over there.
So many celebrity houses here. Clooney, Ma.
Clooney.
You guys see the story?
We can spend some time here, but we have 15 minutes. I don't know. I don't.
Cage.
Yes.
That's the house that James Caan kidnapped. What's her name? Sarah Jessica Parker. Here we are in the town. It's a George was 35.
We got two teams down here, and
Sidewalks all the way up the hill here. So that's the head of what's called Sleeping Giant, and his boots are down at the bottom. So you have to. So the legend of that is that the giant was going to village to village of the Manahunis and eating all their food. You guys are having a delightful cruise. I'm very happy to hear that. I love the Mickey Ears up there. Good meeting everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves.
We're back. Today was the day. I'll tell you about it. I'm sure everything has been chaotic and nonsensical, so I'll fill you in once we're in the room.
Yeah, I need a snack.
Hello.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you. We're back. Safety. We're back safe and sound, thankfully. Not all of us.
Not all of us.
2 of 4.
No.
Well, 1 of 4 might be here. We haven't seen them yet. The other 4th is across the island still. There's the other.
There's one of them.
There's the 3/4. We're waiting on the 4th to return from this dang port excursion. All right, there's Mom, a half hour later. We all thought we were gonna do stuff together and we didn't do like anything together.
There she is.
Mom, she made it. Go, Mom.
All right, let's see. Can she do it?
You got this, Mom. You got it, girl. We're all back together again.
Yay. It was bad, Mom.
We all made it.
Yours was bad. Your bus.
Yeah,
it was
it was not good.
not good.
The day is just flying by, so I will tell you all about the excursion probably at the end of the night, because right now it's already time for dinner. Not hungry because right when we got back on the ship we were starving and we went up to deck 9 to get food, and now it's dinner time and I'm not hungry. That's okay. I have just kind of given up for the day. I was gonna do like a full face, do my hair, but my hair is still wet from the rain this morning. Just wearing the dress I wore on the excursion, threw a jacket over it. Just today has not been the day, so
I'm just resigned to it not being a good day, but that's okay. Hopefully from here on out, things will get better. I thought things were gonna get better after Triton's, and then they didn't. And then I thought, well, it can't be worse than being separated and soaking wet, and then it did get worse. So that is all for right now. Off to dinner.
Tiana's presents. We're at Tiana's, and we'll have the band tonight.
Turkey breast.
We all got the crab dip with the nice crusty bread, except Dad.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. There we are. Hello there. Tiana's place. Thank you all so much for coming. You can do anything except for my student. And let me tell you, he was right about that. I want to know, who's ready to have some fun tonight at Tiana's place? Are you hungry? I sure hope y'all enjoy some of the best French quarter fixings this side of Mississippi. The crawfish cruise.
Dad got mushroom soup, and we know from last cruise we don't like this mushroom soup because
I wasn't sure which one it was.
yeah, we don't like it. That's okay. I also got a hot tea. Liz got iced tea. Mom got coffee. Dad got his Coke Zero.
So we're right on that?
I got the Caesar salad, and Liz and Mom also got the mushroom soup. Oh, Liz likes the mushroom soup. Mom, do you like it? Oh, Dad and I do not. That's a no from us. This looks really good.
Let me do my work. Your work. Maybe the best thing I've had today. Caesar salad, really, really, really good.
We all got the turkey dinner with potatoes, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and green beans.
We like to call it Tiana's Bayou Masquerade. We're going to be playing some roof-raising jazz. Speaking of playing jazz, look who did this joint. It's the trumpet playing genius himself, Lewis.
Yes, Lewis.
He makes you all just carry on with your dinner. Drop his goodness in the back.
I gave Tiana a friendship bracelet. I also gave 2 out at breakfast today to our server and assistant server. Dessert time.
I'm going to get Nancy. Yeah, we lost her. Maybe he's going to get one of the pie. No, you get.
I'm not sharing.
No, I don't want you to. I'm getting this because I think we all still in it.
People down here think I'm crazy, but I don't care. There ain't nothing gonna stop me now, 'cause I'm almost there.
Dad and I got the banoffee cream pie. It looks really good. And Liz and Mom got like a berry financier. It looks really good. It looks like a muffin, like a really delicious berry muffin. Here's our animal of the night. I think it's a rhino.
Rhino.
He's cute. Super cute. Back from dinner. Room's been turned down. We are going for our nightly walk. I'm wearing my black sand beach new sweatshirt on. And my walking shoes are still wet from today, so I have these on, which are also comfy to walk in. So thankful I have these. I would love to meet characters tonight, but I'm just not dressed for it. My social battery is just slowly approaching 0. So maybe a trivia and then call it a night. We also want to, well, I want to write out postcards tonight, put stamps on them, and get ready for tomorrow. Let's go walk. Well, yeah, we have this, Kimmy. Decompressed for a little bit. Oh my god, I laid down and was on my phone for a little bit. I'm feeling much more relaxed. I think we are going to a trivia right now, so oh my god, today has been a day. I look amazing. Let's go do trivia. Got it. Right here's fine.
I'm a member of your entertainment team here on board the Wonder, and if you can't already tell by this very exotic accent of mine, I come to you all the way from Canada. Woo! Do we at least have A, B, or C, or D written down? Yeah. All right, amazing. What city do Bob Parr and his friend Lucius Best secretly protect? That is number 2. So what? Does anybody think that they are 2 for 2 right now? 1 for 1 point. Yeah. All right. C, the butterfly room, or D, the grasshopper room. B, a poison checker. C, a janitor, or D, a cook. It's Metroville.
Oh, we were so close.
Who is slowly destroying the oceans and hurting the fish? What did we get?
So close.
Humans. That's right. It was C, humans. What is the name of the boy band that captured the hearts of Maylin and her friends in Turning Red? Four-Town. That's right. All right. Tally up those scores right now. And then we're going to find our winner. So in a moment, once you guys are some noise.
Not bad. Oh. I wanted to just stay out here.
You don't see me.
Liz did a Coke float and we got fries to dip. Oh, are you kidding?
I thought I told you this isn't the game. All the matters today. Get out, man.
Back in the room, we got pixie dusted. We have a little magic towel with Woody and Buzz. How cute. And it had a magnet on the back and it was sticking to our door. Midnight. I wonder if that was her real hair, if she was in a wig. Yes. They really don't make them like this anymore. We watched the whole thing.
We did. I like how she goes from being
Freaky Friday's so good.
God, it's such a good one.
My french fries and ice cream were amazing. Super salty, so I'm thirsty. But I have to fill you in on the first part of the day. We get down to breakfast. There's a line outside of Triton's. And they said 15 to 20 minutes. So I was like, okay, I still have a bunch of things to do after breakfast to get ready. So I was like, I'm gonna go upstairs for this 15 minutes, wash my face, do my skincare, put some sunscreen on, put some makeup on, put my jewelry on, get my backpack together, and then go back downstairs. Right after I sprint up the stairs, I look at my phone and Liz says, we're almost there. Table 65. What do you want for breakfast? And I was like, oh my god. So
So then I just sprint back downstairs, meet them at the table, and it is really, really busy. Service is really, really slow. We had to meet in Azure at 10:15 and we got down there at like 9:05, right? So maybe we were seated at like 9:15. It's 9:15, we ordered pretty fast, and it's like 9:30, 9:45, and we're like, okay, still don't have our food. And then it gets to like 10 and we still don't have our food, and we have to leave in like 15 minutes. And we're like,
not leave, be at the excursion
be at
in
the
15 minutes.
Be at the excursion in 15 minutes. So we're like, okay, Dad and I are going upstairs, getting the bags, getting the IDs, getting the raincoats, getting everything, and then we're going back down for breakfast. And that worked out pretty well. I forget Liz's rain jacket, just have time to put on sunscreen, grab my backpack, grab everything, head back down, and then we get our food. And then at that point it was like, I remember it was like 10:08 and we had to like finish eating in like 5 minutes. So then we eat. It was good. We should have just went to Cabanas, but we make it to Azure at like 10:14 and we're like, perfect, good, we did it, everything's fine, we're gonna have a good day. We're like the last people in our group.
Yeah, we sign in and then we literally get up and start walking to outside with the excursion group.
To the gangway.
Yeah.
For like the other excursions, we were like in the back of the pack. Just because we like to let everybody else go and then we go. There's no reason to like try and
You're all going to the same place.
We're all going to the same place, or so we thought. So we're the last people in the Rapunzel group. Dad goes to the bathroom really, really quick. It's drizzling out. Fine. The Disney cast member with the Rapunzel sign guides Dad and I to the group and then leaves. And then we're just left with the tour company. And so it's starting to like pour now, and we don't know which buses are ours, we don't know who's in charge of who, we don't know where to go. So Dad, Liz, Mom, and I are just standing in the rain waiting for direction because we don't want to get on the wrong bus and we don't have anywhere to go. So we're just waiting in the pouring rain. No direction. I don't know exactly what happens, but what actually ends up happening is that there's only one seat in one van, one seat in another van, and 2 seats open in another van. So we have to split up. And the lady says, once we get to the boat ride, we'll rearrange. We're all going to the boat ride right now on the river to the Fern Grotto. After that, we'll rearrange. We'll get you to sit together. No big deal. In the meantime, Mom goes to one bus and it's packed and people are like in the bus yelling, no, it's packed, it's packed. So then Mom walks out and is just like sitting in the rain waiting for somebody to tell her what bus to go on. And then Dad sees Mom just like sitting in the rain and is like, what the heck, why isn't she being helped? Why is she like standing in the rain? I'm in a bus, Liz is in a bus, Dad's in a bus, Mom's in the rain. There's a seat next to me and Mom comes into my bus and then we're together.
Because basically what happened is they didn't organize the groupings in the buses before
we got to the buses
and or onto the buses. So
it was a free-for-all.
It was a free-for-all of people just loading onto a bus, but they weren't taking into consideration families and how many people, like groups, were on each bus.
Correct.
So at the end of it, it wasn't just us. There was
another family of 4 that had 2 kids with special needs that got separated as well, which is not good.
Absolutely ridiculous. And they kind of just, from what I understood, just kind of went with it because no one knew what was going on, which is absolutely not good. And
but we thought, we'll rearrange. It'll be fine. We just gotta get to the boat thing.
Yeah, well, and the bus drivers were being honestly very rude and not very helpful or accommodating at all. Like,
they were very much taking the stance of like, it's not my problem, when it in fact is your problem because you're driving us and you're in charge of taking care of us.
I know Dad was not too happy because there was a bus driver out with an umbrella like for himself
and not holding it for other people,
like guests and stuff like that. And again, they can't control the weather, but it's like just the lack of kind of accommodation and taking care of like these people who are paying you to go on this excursion tour, and you kind of just washing your hands of the, well, I don't have enough space in my bus, and they didn't really take the time to try to accommodate everybody.
There was no communication with the bus drivers or the touring company because we found out that there were 2 separate companies.
And then they just started like blaming each other. The bus drivers were blaming this separate company that I guess they were hired.
It'd be so easy to just ask people to move.
Yeah, but there was
nobody asked anyone
because we've never had an excursion where
where we got separated.
Yeah, this was an absolute nightmare of a situation. And again, we're 4 grown adults, we can handle ourselves, we're fine, but you're paying a lot of money to do this excursion. And the other thing I have a problem with, it wasn't just us. It was another family, a family that probably needed to be together more than we did.
Yeah.
And they didn't even take any type of time to try to justify the situation. After the fact, there were a lot of people who came up to us and were like, oh, we would have switched, we can switch with you, yada, yada, yada. And at that point, it had kind of been all said and done. So it kind of just goes to show that the bus drivers and or the company that wasn't really involved didn't even try to like rearrange and make things work. They just kind of were like, well, I have one spot in here, who's coming in this? And the one guy was like ready to take off with like 2 seats in his car. It was just a bad situation.
But that was just...
Yeah, that was before we even left the port.
Yeah, we get separated and we're soaking wet when everybody else in the buses were like dry. I was like, oh, everybody got rained on. Nope,
no,
it was
just us because they couldn't figure it out.
Because we were standing out in the rain for like 5 more minutes than them and we were like drenched head to toe.
I get on the bus and the people on the bus are trying to like not make light of it, but like, oh, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And I'm like, I'm literally sitting here drenched in water.
With a full day ahead of me.
Literally, we're
and
just starting.
We're not gonna dry and we're gonna be uncomfortable and cold all day.
Yeah, so it's like...
It's Hawaii, it's gonna rain. We had raincoats, we had ponchos. I had shoes to change into.
Yeah.
But just like not having the time to do it or the space to do it was annoying.
Well, it's not even that, it's like...
Because I would have, if we were like grouping in the...
Well, that's the issue.
In the like port warehouse, wherever. And I saw it was raining outside, I would have put my raincoat on, I would have put my other shoes on, and everything would have been great.
Yeah, and was the other issue, was like if they could have organized us before we went out to the buses weren't like, you had to walk a good probably 50 feet to get to where the buses were when you left the like
yesterday overhang. They like pulled up right in front for us.
And the previous 2 excursions were very well organized, very grouped
this
together.
Is where you go. There's a person telling you where to go. They're counting people. They're making sure everyone's
were
good.
Literally pulled up right in front so you could get on. And it was just funny because the bus I got on, I'm soaking wet, and our tour guide, who had been in the kind of in the rain with us, she was like, well, I'm gonna drop you guys off and then I'm gonna go home and change. It's like, well, that's awesome, but you're
supposed to be rearranging the bus passengers. But anyway, we leave port. It's a good drive. So we're like separated for like 45 minutes maybe.
I honestly don't even remember.
The drive out, we're separated and we're all wet and cold and upset. We get to the little boat ride on Wailua River to the Fern Grotto. And we're all on the boat ride together. Amazing. We're a little upset, a lot drenched, a lot cold, just like uncomfortable, and want to like get on better footing, right? We go down the river, it's nice, we go to the Fern Grotto, it's really pretty, we're all together, we're like getting into a better mood, we're drying off, it's not raining, and then it comes time to get back on the buses. And so one girl who was kind of trying the hardest out of everyone to like get us all together was talking to bus drivers, going into buses, but not really doing anything. She was a bus driver. So that was the whole issue, is the bus drivers the other bus drivers, who were all men,
did
not care that we weren't together.
No, and they were frankly very rude to, there was one who was very
rude
not
to there
Mom.
Yet. When were they rude to Mom?
Wasn't that when you guys were at the port?
Yeah, Mom got into the bus all sopping wet and was like, this should have been organized better, and then he made a comment, well, Disney hired another company to organize you, and they didn't do a good job.
Yeah, it was just the bus drivers kept blaming this other tour company, who
like the
we didn't even see who this person or people were. They weren't there. The only people that we saw were bus drivers. So I don't know who this middle person was, because there wasn't anyone there. So that's why I don't understand why the bus drivers kept blaming this third party who was not present at all. They didn't care. That's the end of the story. They didn't care.
So it was like a comment Mom made just like out in the open to the bus, because everybody on the bus was like, yeah, that you should be together, this is like a family thing. So everybody on the bus was like, yeah, of course. But the bus driver's remark back to Mom was not insensitive, it was just unnecessary. Just like, just say, I'm so sorry you're wet, and like, we'll fix it for you.
Yeah.
Something. But yeah, it's time to get back on the buses for the rest of the stops, right? We had a beach stop, we had a lighthouse stop, and we had a lunch stop, which we thought was at a restaurant.
Those were supposed to be the stops.
Because stuff got changed.
Yeah.
The 4 of us are just waiting. It's not raining, thankfully. And we see movement, we see things, and then this girl comes back to us and is like,
basically nothing's changed.
There's no room for the 4 of you to be together.
together.
Yeah.
And so the bus driver that mom and I had were like, where are the mom and the daughter? And we're like, we're right here. We're trying to like see the waterfall together, see the lighthouse together, be in the same bus. He's like, well, I'm just gonna be right up on this hill. And then so he starts to drive away. The other family gets separated again. We see them get separated. 3 go in one and the dad goes in one.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, okay, I guess we're gonna like have to be separated. Not thinking that we won't see each other again, right? Thinking we're all going to the same spot. It's the same tour. Mom goes in another bus. She wants to stay with the girl who's like helping us. She's like, I'll stay with her. Dad goes in one bus. Liz and I go in the bus mom and I were in originally. Liz and I are on this bus and he goes out of the parking lot, drives up and parks at the top of the hill.
Literally.
Like feet from where we exited the boat. And everybody's just like, what? And he's like, okay, we're getting out for lunch. And we're like, why couldn't we just literally walked up the 4 steps from the boat exit onto the like the little picnic tables?
Yeah.
Why did we all like get in this bus?
Pile us all in.
Pile us all in there.
Yeah.
And then literally go out of the parking lot and just park on like the front entrance of this.
The same place we were.
This like visitor center type thing. And so we're like, what the heck? So we get all out. We sit in the picnic tables where the bathrooms were for the boat tour. Literally like it was all in the same little spot. And then we text Dad, we're still here. We're having lunch now apparently. And Dad's like, I'm still here having lunch. And so we turn and he's on a picnic bench. And we're like, where's Mom? Mom is going up to a waterfall.
Yeah.
Not with us, totally on her own journey. And so we have lunch. Dad's bus driver and my bus driver are there having conversations with people, showing people the lunch, the coolers, the waters, everything. So we're all sitting on the bench upset. I grabbed the turkey sandwich, like Ziploc full of...
It was like a sack lunch, basically.
Yeah, it was a sack lunch.
Like a deli sandwich, sack lunch with like chips.
Dad's texting Mom, and then Dad's bus driver comes over and starts talking to Liz. And he's just trying to like smooth things over, but not addressing the situation. Just trying to be like, what's your name? Where are you from?
What do you do?
What do you do?
Blah, blah. He was basically just he was like a car salesman. He was like just trying to like schmooze me.
And then he asks like, okay, is this all of you? And we're like, no, our mom's on a different bus. And then Liz asks, are you guys going to the same spot? And he's like, yeah, we can. And so Liz was like, okay, can you and the bus driver that has Dad go to the same spot? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, Craig, can we go to the same spot? He said, can we tag team this?
I asked if they could tag team.
Yeah, I remember him being like, you want us to tag team? And you're like, yes, so we can see the sights with our dad.
So I was talking to Dad's bus driver and he was the one trying to schmooze me. And I said, would it be possible if we could, since we're both here right now, could we tag team? Like you drive to the same places that Craig is driving to, so at least then the 3 of us, we could at least see the sights and do everything together. And so that's when Dad's bus driver, which I don't even know his name, it's like, hey Craig, do you think we could go together because Liz over here has some insecurities about leaving like her family or whatever. And that really ticked me off. I'm not gonna lie. He was trying to be funny.
It was not funny.
It was not funny.
It was rude.
It was very rude, and I stopped him and I said, that is not appropriate. That is, I find that very rude. And he kind of recoiled right away and was like, oh, no. I was like, that was very rude. I don't appreciate you making that comment because it's not true. And he recoiled and he's like, oh, no, I'm so sorry. We're here to make you have a good day and a good time, blah, 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 blah. And he like started backtrack. He's like, I wasn't trying to make it, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't trying to be rude, but he was, because that was the underlying tone of the comment he was making.
Yeah, it was like, what's the big deal? Why can't you guys split up?
And that's the root and the problem with this whole issue, is that they were completely missing the point of, you know what, if we wanted to go on this excursion by ourselves,
that's what we would have done.
That's what we would have done. But we booked this as a foursome group to go as a family and sightsee.
And spend the day together. On these tours, most of the day you're in the car.
Yeah.
So most of the day we were split up. Most of the day we weren't like seeing Sleeping Giant in the background together.
And again, we're very close. We get to spend a lot of time together. But like if you have a family who this is their family vacation and like they're flying in from different parts of the world and say that was them and they were coming together to do this cruise together and do these excursions together and they get split up, like that's a horrible thing. Like that's a really badly run tour and a badly run business.
And we have no problem doing things by ourselves.
No.
We do things by ourselves. I love doing things by myself, like in the park. A solo day in the park, amazing.
Right.
A solo day by yourself is so fun.
Yeah.
We were there to spend time together.
And do this as a family and as one solo group. And they kept saying, oh, we have a
lot of families today, we have a lot of families today. If you have a lot of families today, then you should be taking priority of the families and putting them together. And when you have 2 couples and 2 couples and 2 couples in the same van,
it would be really easy
me,
to like math it out.
Right, and they just didn't take the time to do that.
We for sure would have, like, if they would have given us the reins and been like, hey, we can't figure this out, can you guys figure this out?
They didn't
we would
care.
have,
That's,
our Disney brains would have, all of us on that tour would have put our heads together and been like, 2, 2, 2, there, perfect, go. 5 here, 4 here. We would have figured it out, but it was just the lack of leadership.
When you go on a Disney cruise, you have really high expectations, and you...
Because every other, I jinxed it earlier in this series, I said we have never had a bad port excursion. So maybe this is my fault. I have yet to experience an excursion that wasn't so well thought out, well done. I don't know. I jinxed it and said every excursion up until now has been fantastic.
Yeah.
It was like a shock to our systems to like not be treated nicely.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's
because we were just like, most of the time we were just like standing there ready to be like told where to go.
Yeah.
We weren't like being obnoxious or like over the top in any way.
Yeah, but even if I would have done that tour by myself, I would probably still given it the same. Not recommend. Yeah, spoiler alert.
I think
we do not recommend this. I think even at the end of the day, if I would have done it even as a solo tour, it wasn't.
There just wasn't enough time at the spots, and the spots weren't amazing. We gotta keep going with the story. Did you have another point though?
No, just that the guy was very rude to me.
Yes, at lunch. Right. So, thankfully he wasn't our bus driver. So we hope that Liz, myself, and Dad are all going to the same spots. We know Mom is out there on her own.
She's just,
hoping maybe we can meet her at some point because Dad had all of her stuff.
Yeah.
Dad had her ID to get back on the ship. Dad had money if she wanted to buy something. Like, Dad had it all. Liz and I get on the back of the bus with this really, really nice couple. The man in the couple was like, you gotta go to the Port Adventures desk. You probably won't get your money back, but like, they should at least know the company wasn't like doing well. Another person in Mom's bus said, you need to go complain and stuff. And that couple was also like, yeah, if I had to be separated from my wife, I would not be happy. So like everybody was like on the same page.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have like the means to fix it, I guess.
At that
like
point
we
in time.
didn't. The people in charge did, but they didn't. So then we go to the waterfall.
I was gonna say, I couldn't even tell you what we did.
Opaeka'a waterfall. It was cool. It was like really far away. We weren't there for long. Then we went to the lighthouse lookout.
Is that where we went?
This kind of happened a little bit yesterday, but not as much. They didn't tell us where we were going.
Yesterday he was good, our tour guide.
No, he was really good. At first I didn't know where we were going. Like they weren't like, okay guys, this is what we're doing. This is the itinerary.
Yeah,
this is where we're going.
No, they didn't do that.
And also all 3 bus drivers, because our family experienced all 3 bus drivers, weren't really
on the same page.
Not on the same page, but like giving tour guide facts. They were just kind of like chatting about stuff.
Yeah.
They weren't giving like tour guide Hawaii facts.
And yeah, not to say, because yesterday the tour guide we had was awesome
and very knowledgeable,
super knowledgeable, super informative,
and
like,
kind of kept it on the like knowledge learning side and not just the like, where are you guys from, which obviously is fine. That's kind of where the conversation stopped.
The guy we had yesterday was awesome. I learned a lot listening to him. These guys today it was just like white noise in my ear that I did, and it probably partially was because I was angry and pissed off about how they handled the situation, but also like when I was choosing to listen to what they were saying, I was not engaging with the information, and what they were saying wasn't really relevant to the tour.
Yeah, I couldn't even really tell you what was going on. Next was the lighthouse lookout and the bird sanctuary, and we did meet Mom at one point. It just like felt so long that we weren't together. So we are all together at the lighthouse. After the lighthouse, we went to Hanalei Beach. That was really nice. And Dad got there fast. He had to go right away once Liz and I got there. And then Mom showed up, and then we walked to the pier and saw the little beach. And then we went back in the bus, just stayed in the bus and went to a church, and then went to another beach, just staying in the van.
Yeah, we didn't get out.
And then back to the port. So it felt like such a long day and such a long drive because everything was kind of spread out along the island and there was some traffic. Most of the day was driving. Like that drive back to the port felt so long. Dad got back first, and then we got back, and then Mom got back like 30 minutes later, because when we were on our way back to the pier, she texted and said, oh, we have like 3 more stops. They were gonna go to another beach, another waterfall, and then shaved ice, which was not on the itinerary. So
yeah, Mom stopped at like a coffee shop
first. It was a weird it was very strange. But yeah, we all got back at different times, which was weird. Thankfully, Dad was able to hand Mom some stuff. I gave her some money in case she wanted to get something. She had her ID. I think I prefer an excursion where you go and do one thing and then come back. I don't necessarily love the tours of a bunch of different places just because you're in the car for so long. I feel like that time is wasted. The whole selling point for Mom on this excursion, like, Mom, we booked this excursion, you're gonna love it, we're gonna go to a church on a pier, like how Alani has like their nice beach with the church. Mom really loved that. So I was like, okay, we're gonna go to this nice resort area that has a pier and a beach. Yeah, Mom was disappointed she didn't get to go to the church. The lighthouse is closed Sunday, Monday, Wednesdays, and today's Monday, so we had to go to a lookout instead of actually going to the lighthouse. And then we didn't go to a Nini beach, we just drove past it. We went to a different beach. It was just very, very strange. I wonder from an outsider's perspective if this doesn't seem as bad as it felt. I don't know. Also, just being cold and uncomfortable all day didn't help, and just being stressed that Mom was on her own. Like, if Mom and Dad were together, totally fine. We were together, totally fine. But it was just that Mom and Dad were separated. It was not fun. Maybe it doesn't sound that bad. It felt pretty bad. And it just felt bad that they did not care about us at all. That's kind of what was the worst feeling. It wasn't like, hey guys, nobody wants to switch. We've tried so hard, we can't help you. We'd have been like, that's fine. Yeah. It was just their lack of caring.
Yeah, that combined with the fact that it started pouring down rain and you have guests literally as you're like twiddling your thumbs,
shivering
and not doing anything,
because we're like, okay, that has one seat, that has one seat, that has two seats, we're four.
What do you want us to do?
Do you want us to do something? Are you gonna do something?
Right, and us literally just standing,
and it was just drenched, so we were just like, just go, we'll figure it out later. And I was like, okay, it can't get worse. Like, Triton's was a little bit not great.
Oh, Triton's was a breeze compared to...
No, I'm just saying, like, the day started off and I was like, okay, it's gotta get better. Yeah. And then we were in the rain and Mom was really mad and, okay, we'll dry off, we'll be fine, it's gonna get better. And then it just never got better. I just threw in the towel and I was just like, you were next to me, I was just kind of like staring out the window most of the time.
It was a bit of a, in my opinion, waste of the money that was spent for this excursion. I think I would probably still have that same opinion if we didn't have the separation and the getting left out in the rain experience in the very beginning. I think that, coupled with the bus drivers and the tour guides weren't that great. What they were telling us didn't seem super...
They were just kind of telling us about the celebrities.
Yeah, and like their personal lives.
Like the celebrities that live on Kaua'i. Yeah. Or have land and houses.
Great, but like...
I don't know, it was like kind of like show-offy just a little bit. But anyway, wrapping this up, we don't recommend the Discover Kaua'i excursion, unfortunately. We have not talked to Port Adventures or guest services yet. Maybe they will take into consideration what we say once we tell them, I don't know. But as of right now, we don't recommend this excursion, unfortunately. It was just like far beyond a little annoyed. If we were just a little annoyed, I wouldn't even bring it up. Yeah. But this needed like a whole section to talk about. Yeah. Because I couldn't like say it in the moment. I couldn't be like complaining while on the bus, you know?
The fact that like Dad was ready to like, we had literally just done one portion of the excursion.
Yeah, at lunch Dad was ready to call an Uber and go back to the boat. Before lunch actually, when they were like, okay, we don't have 4 for you, Dad was like, I just want to go back to the boat.
We had only been on the tour for maybe an hour and a half out of a full day experience, and he was ready to call an Uber and just be like, I'm done with this. That I think kind of is very telling of how the situation was.
I'll do the math and I'll put the time stamp right here of how long the excursion was from getting off the Wonder to getting back on the Wonder. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts if you want.
Yeah, and who knows? This is March of 2024.
This is not going up anywhere near March of 2024.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm gonna say is like that's when we experience this tour. If you do this cruise coming back from Vancouver or in a year from now when it's coming back from Sydney in 2025,
they might not even offer.
They might not even offer this anymore.
So
or it's a completely different thing.
This might be just falling on dead ears. I don't know. I'm just sad like this day kind of has like a bad vibe to it now, like in our memories, and like of the cruise, this was not a good day, which we've been really, really lucky. Most of our cruise days have been amazing thanks to like Disney and it being like an amazing cruise line. It's just like you can't win them all, but also we very easily could have won them all if people helped a little bit more. I don't know.
We're pretty go with the flow.
We're very go with the flow. Because we did.
Yeah.
We did go with the flow, but we did have emotions and feelings and thoughts about going with the flow.
Yeah, we don't really as we just have been complaining for probably the past half an hour talking about this. We're not typically people who complain or like raise an issue with little things that happen, but the fact that we all four of us were like, this is not okay, upset.
Yeah,
and
that's the thing.
We wanted to raise this as a concern to
we were upset
Disney.
like all day.
That's telling of the situation. So
that is correct.
If I had to give it a rating,
it'd be a 0.
It'd be a 0.
Yeah,
it was not a good.
Yeah,
it was not a good experience.
That was up until like 4:30ish, and then we had to get ready for dinner, and then now you're all caught up. Wrapping up today. First part of the day, not great. Everything else that came after, normal, good, fun day. We got snacks, dinner, Wash Freaky Friday, we got ice cream. I chilled and went on TikTok for a little bit. Amazing. We did trivia. Super fun time after the excursion. So sad this has a little bit of a literal rain cloud over it, but it's okay. We have many more days to make up for it, and hopefully we can laugh about this in the future. So we're gonna leave this day behind us. We're all good. Tomorrow, we are still in Nawiliwili on Kaua'i. We are parked the whole night, so we don't have to experience any rockiness tonight, which we did last night. It was not that rocky, but still enough where you had to like watch out for your footing. No more excursions. We are gonna get off the boat whenever tomorrow. Walk to the little
it's like a shopping area.
We have to mail postcards. Just look around. I think the couple we met today said there's a beach nearby. We'll see. Maybe we're just gonna wanna go and come back and just be done. So yes, that is tomorrow. Liz and I also have a chocolate and liqueur tasting a little bit before all aboard, so we'll have to be back on the boat 2-ish, 2:30ish. I think it's at 3. I'm literally just gonna get ready for bed now, so I'm gonna say good night. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Good night.